Hi, Kateri.
Hi, Joelle.
So this is our sleepy tea interview. I'm super excited. So you want to introduce yourself?
Kateri Meyer, traveling tea. Been in business since 2009. Had this shop since 2013.
All right.
And as I mentioned a few minutes ago, with everything that's going on in the world, my number of people coming in the door asking for sleep teas to help them sleep has doubled.
Yeah, and I think after everything in the news, after every event, I get lots of messages or calls from friends or patients or whatever asking what can I do to sleep better. So I love tea, and I figured this would be a fun thing to do.
Additive, something to help.
So you can be the tea expert, and then I looked up stuff about any clinical trials about different tea ingredients, so we can go over there's like a limited amount of information, but I thought it would be good from a scientific standpoint.
Like apocryphal or historic.
Yeah.
Yes, historic herbalism things.
Yes.
And that's the thing. I don't sell myself as an herbal shop. I have people coming in here asking. I've got a few teas that I know the herbs have a history of helping with various things. But if people come in asking for something like major digestion stuff or whatever, I'm like, there's 2 good herbal shops less than a mile away. Go there. They're trained in that stuff. Yeah. But these teas, historically, chamomile, everybody knows about chamomile. And valerian root. Those are the 2 biggies that everybody knows about. Some people can't do chamomile, and not everybody realizes that if you have a ragweed allergy, you shouldn't drink chamomile, especially when ragweed's in bloom, because it's in the same plant family.
Yeah, so a lot of people have ragweed allergies, especially in the Midwest. So I did not realize that there was a cross-reactivity with chamomile.
Yeah.
So I looked it up. If you're allergic to Asteraceae, which is like sunflowers or ragweed.
Oh, sunflowers too. I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So if you're allergic to ragweed, then instead of chamomile, what can people have?
You can do linden flower. I used to have a linden flower blend, and I don't know whether I just needed to tweak the flavor, but it wasn't very popular, and so I've discontinued it as of the end of last year. Because I had to bring in all the ingredients just to make this one tea, and it just wasn't cost effective. You can get linden flower at the herbal shops, as I said, they're less than a mile away. I do have a blend that I made for the cat cafe.
Okay.
It has catnip in it. And catnip is calming to the human nervous system, as I understand it. And
is this for cats or humans?
It's for humans, but if humans have cats, sometimes they have to fight their cat for their tea. They've told me, I can't do that one because my cat always gets into the tea bag or whatever, And I have had people who repeat buy it and say that it's more calming for them than valerian root. That's just reported, whether it's psychosomatic or what. It doesn't matter if it works, right?
Right. So I guess the main thing is for teas, for sleep, you want not real tea, which has caffeine in it. You want tisanes, I guess. So other herbs or flowers or fruits that taste good and hopefully also help promote relaxation and sleep.
Right. Yes. The other thing, it doesn't have caffeine. If you enjoy it and it's relaxing to drink a nice hot cup of tea before you go to bed, it's going to help.
Yeah. So I think the main thing actually is not the tea. So I'm going to have some I don't expect. I'll fall asleep driving home after this, because I think that, having tea as part of a nighttime routine where you kind of catch the wave of drowsiness and have it as part of your usual wind down, that's how it really helps you. It's not going to knock you out. It's not like a drug.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, although I understand valerian root can be somewhat drowsy making. I don't really know.
Yeah, I think they all. So I looked up like the different mechanisms. So I guess starting with chamomile, it has. I mean, all of these plants have many different chemicals in them, and they've tried to identify which of those might be the ones that are active. So in chamomile, there is apigenin. And that binds GABA receptors. So they think that is the main sleep promoting effect of chamomile. But then chamomile has a lot of other potential effects, like, anti-inflammatory. It has effects on kind of calming your GI tract and so on.
Cool.
But in terms of sleep, it seems to be on the GABA receptors. So GABA is the main inhibitory transmitter in the brain, as opposed to excitatory like acetylcholine. So increasing GABA activity is kind of sedating. So drugs that act on GABA are things like benzodiazepines, so Valium, or alcohol increases GABA activity and so on. So it is expected that if you increase GABA activity or receptor agonism, then it should make people more sedated.
So that explains the tea. There's various teas. The first one I was ever introduced to was a GABA oolong, and I understand there's a GABA green from somewhere from one of my friends, but I believe it was the Japanese discovered that if they infuse the room with nitrogen while the tea leaves are oxidizing, it enhances naturally occurring GABA properties within tea.
Cool.
Like multiple times.
Yeah. But oolong has caffeine in it.
Has caffeine.
Okay.
But all tea really is, the caffeine in tea is different than the caffeine in coffee.
Okay.
Because it goes to your brain rather than your heart.
So it's less.
It has the other L-theanine, I believe it is, that's calming. And so that's why it became so popular, because it was spread through Buddhism, because the monks used it so they could stay alert for long hours of meditation, but still not have it interfere with their meditation.
Get all hopped up.
Exactly. All
right. Well, are we going to try one or more of these?
Yeah.
So let's see. This one is chamomile lavender, and this is sleep tight, which is
the valerian root.
It's just valerian root.
It's chamomile, spearmint, lemon balm, valerian, lemongrass, passionflower, and it's got rose petals in it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Right, and this one's chamomile ginger. And then this is the catnip.
Right.
With mint, basil. Okay. And then this is the GABA oolong. Okay. All right. What would you recommend? You're the expert.
Oh. Well, let's go with flavors.
Okay.
I want you to try one of the chamomiles and the sleep tight so you can taste that difference, because see, that's the thing with a lot of medicinal teas. The herbs that are actually do the real work can tend to be a little bitter.
Yeah.
And so that's why they mix all that other stuff with it, the mint and everything else.
Yeah. Chamomile tastes good though. It's very mild.
A lot of people like chamomile.
All right. I feel like my nose is not up to its usual functioning because I'm getting over a cold.
Sure.
But
maybe the chamomile ginger would be better.
Oh, yeah.
Rather than the chamomile lavender. Because then you got the ginger to help clear your stuff. Okay. So this is the chamomile ginger.
Okay. All right. Well, do you already have water?
I don't. Okay. I have water ready, but I just got to brew it.
All right. Here, I'll go over the clinical trials for chamomile while you brew. In terms of studies that I looked up, I wanted to find studies that were published in peer-reviewed journals in PubMed, where it was randomized and controlled, meaning they used a placebo to compare against it. So for chamomile, there's a decent number of studies, and they did a meta-analysis, meaning they pooled data from several of these clinical trials. So there was a meta-analysis done in 2024 that combined 10 studies that had a total of 772 patients. So it's actually a pretty large meta-analysis. And they found that there was an improvement or a reduction in a score called the PSKI, which is the Pittsburgh Sleep Quality Index. That's probably the most commonly used scale of sleep quality. So that decreased close to 2 points across all these different studies. And then in 4 of the studies that looked at how fast people fell asleep, that improved in 3 out of the 4 studies. And then there were no significant adverse or side effects, but they only used passive reporting, meaning they didn't like specifically query for, you know, all the different things like you would in, say, like a drug trial in terms of side effects. So overall, there's pretty good data that, you know, there's an improvement in subjective sleep quality. I don't think any of these measured sleep objectively, like with an actigraph, which is a motion sensor, or with a sleep study. But still, overall, I would say, you know, 2-point improvement in the PSKI is pretty good.
What's the range? What you know is 2 points?
I would say 2 is a small effect.
Okay.
Yeah. And then in terms of the actual studies that were included, there were a couple. So some of the studies that they included were specific patient populations, like people who had chronic kidney disease or, you know, this or that. So I tried to pull out the ones that were maybe more relevant to a general audience. So there was one that they included that had 60 people who were older, and they lived in kind of like an old folks home in Iran. And they did 200 milligrams of chamomile extract in a capsule, not a tea. So none of these studies used teas.
None of the studies used actual teas.
Yeah, or very few do. Yeah, so a lot use capsules or oils, which yeah, so it's not exactly comparing apples to apples, I guess.
Yeah.
And they took it twice a day, which I thought was interesting. But they found that, you know, the group that got the chamomile capsules versus the placebo capsules did have an improvement in their sleep quality. But these were just regular people. They didn't necessarily have sleep problems to start with. So that was one study. And then another study that they included was adults, so 18 to 65 years old. This was like a small study, 34 people, and about 2/3 of them were women. And these are people who had insomnia, meaning they had problems sleeping. And they got 270 milligrams of chamomile, again, twice daily for a month. And they followed, or the people kept track of their sleep with a sleep diary, and then they also measured daytime symptoms. And in this study, when they took people who had insomnia, there was no difference in terms of their sleep and their sleep diary. But there was a slight improvement in their daytime functioning. So I think the data are a little bit mixed. When they pool all the studies together, there is a small benefit on sleep. But I think when if you take people just who have like true, you know, insomnia where they would like go see a doctor for it, the effect probably is not strong enough to see.
No. I wonder if instead of taking capsules, if they were actually had the whole process of making a tea and sitting down and having that intentional time, I think that would be much more productive.
I think so too. So, you know, I think that a lot of it is the actual ritual and the bedtime routine and the warm mug and, you know, all that stuff is that's like almost all the
pulling all of your attention away from your day, and you have to focus on making this cup of tea,
right, and enjoying it, you know, just being mindful and enjoying the smell and the feeling and the taste and everything. I will also say that even in, you know, clinical trials of you know, sleep drugs, you know, Ambien, Lunesta, all these, there is a significant placebo effect, which is really prominent for insomnia. So about 2/3 of the effect is is placebo.
Okay.
So
even with actual drugs.
With real drugs. And this is because there is so much of our expectation and anxiety and worry and, our ability to kind of shut off our thinking that affects our sleep. So, it's not uncommon to see 30 or 40 minutes of objectively measured sleep, like during a sleep study, and that benefit can be sustained over weeks during clinical trials with placebo. So our brains are actually very powerful and are able to, improve our own sleep. Placebo is very strong, especially for sleep. All right, so ready?
That's probably a lot of what prevents sleep is a lot of mental.
Yeah,
as
that
much
is
as anything. If
yeah.
once you've ruled out physical aches and pains,
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so
Chamomile
this
ginger.
is chamomile ginger. Ooh, that's good. Oh, that ginger is nice.
And this particular tea is from Nepal. It's all grown. I buy it farm direct from Nepalese tea farmers.
So how do you source all of your teas? Like, how do you know people in Nepal?
Well, interestingly, Nepal, centuries ago, Nepalese workers went to Darjeeling, which is the very northern part of India. So they would travel to Darjeeling for work, for picking tea and making tea. So they had the skills for making tea, but they weren't growing tea. Well, the gentlemen who have formed this tea collective, they were the grandsons of a farmer who said, "We should grow tea here. This is silly. We have the land, we have the same terroir. We can do this." And he had a hard time convincing them, but over time he did, and sent his grandsons off to the west to go to business school, and they came back to Nepal and said, "Okay, we're doing this." And I can't remember how many years it's been now. More than 10, I think. But they've gradually been building and building, and so the farmers are making a much better living, and that's So they travel and they go to the tea expos and things like that, and that's how I met them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Other teas, so like the sleep tea with the valerian root and chamomile lavender, those, I have vendors who have been in the business longer than me, and they source this stuff and make the blends, and I just buy them from them and repackage them.
And most of your stuff is organic, because I know like you'll actually note if it's not organic.
Right.
So by default, all your stuff is organic.
Unless it says otherwise, right.
Okay.
And so all of these are, well, GABA might not be. Can't remember. It doesn't say, so it probably isn't. But a lot of some of the ones, especially the Chinese teas and stuff, that I try to source from areas that are away from civilization.
Okay.
And a little bit more wild, and yeah.
All right. Okay, so let me go through my notes here. So there were a couple other, so besides chamomile, I think the next one that you mentioned was valerian root, or valeriana species. So this one, actually, the science was very cool because there's a lot. Excuse me.
Interesting.
So they, in terms of the mechanism, it also acts on GABA receptors. But there's other compounds in valerian root that acts on adenosine receptors. That's caffeine works on. So, but it acts on adenosine receptors the opposite way. Also, serotonin receptors. And then really recently, last year, they found that 2 of the compounds in valerian root called hesperidine and valerocidate, they actually bind to orexin receptors. So there's this newer family of drugs called orexin antagonists. So orexin is a chemical that increases alertness in the brain. And more recently, they have developed a new class of sleep drugs that block those receptors to kind of shut down the waking pathways to help people sleep. This is an interesting class of receptors because a lot of the research being done on the interaction of Alzheimer's proteins and sleep target this receptor. So anyway, it's very interesting in that two of the compounds from valerian root seem to bind this receptor very strongly. So in a similar mechanism as this new class of sleep drugs.
Cool.
So valerian root seems to have multiple mechanisms by which it may enhance sleep. There's pretty decent data. So it seems like, at least in the clinical trials, a lot of times valerian root is mixed with hops. Did you know this? Hops, like we would use in beer. Yeah, so there was one where they did a combination of valerian root extract with hops.
And the extracts.
Yeah.
I'm sure it makes it easier for them to control the studies. To do extracts.
Yeah. And they took it, they had 41 people, half of them were women. And it was mean age of 37, so just like regular people, but they had to have a little bit of sleep problems to start with. And they took it they took the extract an hour before bed. And the treatment group compared to the placebo group got 22 minutes more of sleep. And they actually used a Fitbit tracker to measure this. So that's actually pretty good. So 21 minutes is pretty good.
Do we know whether the hops had any?
So we don't know.
Beer?
Yeah. So we don't know. But it is interesting to me that the two have actually been tested a lot together. And then there was another one where it was a combination of valerian root and hops, and this one they used sort of like a sleep study, but it was like a semi-automated computer thing. And again, they seemed to find an improvement in total sleep time, and they had more time in deeper sleep. And this one was interesting because this was liquid with honey, so it was as a tea. And then there was a trial of just valerian extract versus placebo. This was just women who were older, like postmenopausal women who had insomnia, and this did not help them. So yeah, so I think that in general, these clinical trials, they tend to do better if the people don't have bad insomnia to start with, right?
Yeah, so it's not going to cure your insomnia, but it's not going to hurt it.
Yeah, it's not going to hurt it. It doesn't cure insomnia. I think that if people have significant clinical insomnia, there's a bunch of other things that need to be done in terms of addressing,
figuring out why.
Yeah. And trying to
and again, I'm going to go back to this. These studies are just doing single herbs and single this and single that. I did study with a shaman for a few years, and he wrote a book, and in the book he talked about Western medicine. Some guy studying chemicals and stuff went, I don't know whether South America or wherever, with the shaman, and the shaman was going through the jungle and pointing out different plants and saying, we use this for that, and we use this for that, and the guy's trying to write this down and get all this information, and the shaman just laughed at him because it's not the single chemicals, it's the whole interaction of the plant. So the plant, the chemicals, the studies, they find active chemicals, but the chemicals aren't actually just working by themselves. So that how valid is a study that's isolating one chemical?
Right.
That's my question.
Right. So this one is
This is the sleep type.
The sleep type. So there's the valerian root.
Yes.
Okay.
This is on valerian root and the chamomile and all the other stuff to make it taste good.
Ooh, it smells good. Oh, and this one has the passionflower too. Yeah, so I actually looked up what passion.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So passionflower, I was very surprised to find out there is a lot of data on. Not a lot, but I mean more than I expected. So passionflower is the flower that's on vines for passion fruit.
Okay.
I was also interested to find out that it doesn't increase passion. It's named passionflower because it has to do with like the number of petals or something, like represents different things in the Passion of the Christ, according to like missionaries who went to Brazil. So it's like not the kind of passion you thought it would be. So there was a double-blind, randomized, placebo-controlled trial where they used sleep studies, polysomnography, 110 adults. This was published in 2020. It increases sleep time on sleep studies by 23 minutes. So passionflower actually has like very high standard data to support its use. Also, there was another study that used a combination of valerian, hops, and passionflower. So this is also a very common combo, these three. This study of the triple combo, they went all out and they compared it against zolpidem, which is Ambien. So it was not placebo controlled. They tested it against zolpidem. And it actually did just as well as zolpidem. This was 91 people in this study with insomnia. And total sleep time increased by from 206 minutes to 352. So that's a huge difference. So these were really insomniac at baseline. And then for zolpidem, they went from 212 to 324. So it was a similar increase in the studies. And what I thought was notable is that they mentioned that in Germany, this combination of valerian, hops, and passionflower is actually approved and sold under this name Chiata sedativum. So, in Europe, they have much better and tighter regulation of herbal supplements and nutritional supplements. So I thought it was interesting that they actually sell this combo of the valerian root, passionflower, and hops. Interesting. Yeah.
Maybe I need to try to find some of that.
Yeah, or get some hops, right?
Yeah, get some hops. Yeah, some hops. I'm gonna ask down at the herbal shop and see if they use hops in anything.
Yeah. So I thought I was very surprised. I did not realize there was that much data for passionflower, but that one actually seems very very strong scientific evidence, I would say, compared to the other teas.
Okay.
All right, so this one also has, so it has the chamomile we talked about, has the passionflower, and then the valerian.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, and then it has mints in it for flavor. Although it does a really good job because these ingredients are on here in order of volume, So the chamomile is the primary ingredient. And
it tastes good.
Spearmint and lemon balm. Yeah.
I do like anything with lemongrass. It's so fresh.
This is lemon balm.
It's lemon balm. And you have lemongrass.
Oh, is there lemongrass too? I missed that. Okay.
This one's good.
I'm gonna do this. GABA.
All right, and then there were a couple others that I looked up. So lavender, obviously. So we have the chamomile lavender.
Yeah.
I found 46 randomized clinical trials in PubMed, but almost all of them were for aromatherapy. So there were a lot that used just the smell, or some actually used it in terms of like as a massage oil.
Okay.
Right, for sleep. For actually eating it or drinking it, I found 2 studies.
Okay.
One of them was a trial in women. They did a trial of 52 postmenopausal women, and they did a lavender flower powder or a bitter orange powder or a placebo. So actually it was 52 people per group. So it was a pretty large study. And they found that there was a decrease in that PSKI, the Pittsburgh Quality Index. They found there was a decrease in both the bitter orange and the lavender. Yeah. So only the abstract is available. I couldn't read the full study, but I thought that was interesting that orally it seemed to work as well. So bitter orange is the other one that you might want to think about.
Interesting.
And then there was another study that it was by mouth. It was a lavender oil by mouth. So I don't think it was an oil. I think it was encapsulated.
Yeah, it would have to be.
Yeah, and that one, the second study was in the International Clinical Psychopharmacology Journal. This was a large study. It was 221 adults with anxiety.
Oh.
And they found that taking the lavender oil by mouth for 10 weeks decreased that PSKI score by 5.5 points on average. So
I know there have been aromatherapy studies with lavender on kids with hyperactivity too.
Yeah. So I think there aren't that much data for lavender by mouth. The vast majority are using the smell. But the studies that are there seem reasonable and no bad side effects.
You're getting a little bit of aroma on your cup of tea.
When you smell it. Yeah.
All right, where do you want to go next?
Well, should we do the chamomile lavender?
If you want to.
All right.
We can, definitely.
I like that one.
Do that one.
So do you have a kettle that just keeps it at the correct temperature?
Yeah.
So what temperature do all of these go? These aren't boiling, right?
Well, they say nearly boiling.
Nearly boiling.
I'm doing them at 195.
195 as opposed to 212.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one says boiling. It could be near boiling. The thing with herbs is teas, you want to, especially green teas. Oh my gosh. The biggest thing that got me into the tea business was all the packages you buy in the grocery store for green tea say use boiling water. Don't use boiling water. You'll make a very bitter cup of tea. You want to use much less than boiling water, maybe more around 185, 175, depending on the tea. There's lots of different green teas and they all do different things. And you want to do it for a very short time, just a couple minutes, not 3 to 5 minutes, which is most black teas. You're going to do 3 to 5 minutes. You can't brew a green tea like you do a black tea. It makes it bitter.
Okay.
It just hits it and pulls out all those, I can't remember what the chemical word is, polyphenols maybe, and just makes a bitter cup of tea. Now, herbal teas, they can handle the hot water. You can't oversteep them. You could leave them sit for, and actually, I think therapeutically, if you really want therapeutic doses of herbs, you're going to put it in the water and you're going to simmer it on the stove for 20 minutes or something. I don't know how good that's going to taste, but
sludge.
But you're going to get all the chemicals out of those herbs. I know there's Chinese medicines that's how you're supposed to take them. Oh gosh. So, that was the thing I wanted to ask you about. Did you find anything on any contraindications for any of these? Did you look up anything about contraindications for people on medications? Yeah, so the major one is for anyone on blood thinners or anyone who has hemophilia or some other bleeding disorder. Valerian root can interact and make it more likely that someone will bleed. And that seemed to be like the main one with a lot of these is the potential for bleeding. And then we haven't talked about magnolia bark yet, but that one and valerian root were the main ones that can thin your blood out. And then of course the other ones can cause, drowsiness, dizziness, stomach upset, the cross reaction with people with ragweed allergy, like we mentioned. Yeah. But I mean, I guess in general, the teas we're talking about are all considered, they're kind of like considered
like, generally safe for
Yes.
the FDA. They're like
Yes.
foods. They're regulated
it's
carrots
It's back
are,
to what I talked about therapeutic doses. You're not really doing a huge therapeutic dose. That's also probably why they use extract to get therapeutic doses. So, all things in moderation. You do 1 cup of tea a day. It's the amount of actual chemicals that are going to interact with your medications are very small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then for the oils especially, it can cause, like with lavender, it can cause skin irritation and things, but I think
you're
this
not
is
supposed to use them like directly on the skin. They're supposed to be like in a carrier oil or something to thin it out. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, overall, it seems like these are pretty well tolerated, and if you're drinking tea to help yourself fall asleep, then hopefully getting drowsy is not a bad side effect.
Right. That is the goal.
Right.
Okay.
All right. So, there was one other tea. So that was the magnolia bark.
Yeah, that's not something I'm familiar with.
Yeah. So I guess it's called hoopoe in traditional Chinese medicine.
Okay.
The bark has a lot of different compounds. With numerous different mechanisms, but the clear mechanism of action on sleep is not yet known. Otherwise, I did look up GABA oolong. There were no trials in adults. It looks like there has been one in children with autism spectrum. There was a double-blind randomized control trial of that. And then there were no clinical trials for catnip or linden flower.
Okay.
Do you like all the little cups and things? I think that's like the most fun part.
I have to have quite a variety of things, yeah.
Oh, this one smells really good.
Chamomile lavender.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I've had this one a bunch before, so I feel like this one is like the
chamomile lavender
Pavlovian one that makes me feel
I've
relaxed.
had since the beginning. It's like the second vendor I ever took on. It's their blend.
Wait, so you've been open since 2009?
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness.
Sweet tea there. Not anymore.
Oh, this is yummy.
Yeah. I started with 2 vendors in 2009. And then now I'm up to I don't know, tried to count 10 or 12 vendors. Including farm direct, because I have 2 or 3 sources for farm direct teas. And
do most people buy in person or is it online?
most people buy in person.
Okay.
I do have a decent online business. I ship out probably 10 packages a week. A lot more during the holidays.
Yeah.
But I'm still not. I see pictures from some other small businesses, and they've got these big walls of boxes of stuff to go out the door, and I'm like, that's not me. You get personal attention here because it's so small.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we do single serving trial sizes.
Happy throat lemon. I need that.
And so that's a brand new. That's my own blend. I created that last year. For somebody who wanted, I have a mint version that we've had for years and years, and I have a number of singers who like that one a lot.
Oh, okay.
And then I had, a friend who's doesn't like peppermint, and doesn't like ginger, and doesn't want those things, and so I created the Happy Throat Lemon.
What's in the Happy Throat Lemon?
It is marshmallow root, licorice root, lemon myrtle, echinacea, dandelion leaf, anise, hyssop, and sage.
Oh.
It works pretty well.
And how many ounces is this?
That'll make 1 16-ounce cup of tea.
1 cup of tea.
One cup of tea.
All right.
And so we offer those when somebody comes in that's brand new to tea. And I suggest this is what you do. Just go through and pick some flavors, or you want me to pick you some out. I'll pick out some bestsellers, and then you just start. You drink them and you see if you like them, and then and that seems to work really well for people.
Yeah, because I like when you get a whole ounce.
Yeah.
So 24 cups an ounce.
Right. Alrighty, so we've done everything except the GABA oolong.
GABA oolong. All right, we'll have a
All
minute.
right. And oolongs are very interesting because most of them are tightly rolled.
Okay.
I don't know if you
Do they
roll
roll up on their own, or is
no,
that
that's
done by humans?
the humans do that.
Okay.
Or machines. They have machines that do it too, with humans overseeing it. It's not no robotics yet. And you'll see as I brew this, this is going to open up and be a whole leaf.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so they're kind of fun. And you get lots of steeps out of it. Let's see now, I'm going to refresh my memory on 2 minutes for the first infusion. So there's 2 different ways you can do this too in this package. This is from a company out of England called My Leaf Tea. And they give you both the Chinese way of doing it, which is called Gong Fu, where you would use like 5 times that much leaf for the same amount of water, and you just do a lot of short steeps.
Okay.
And so you get more steeps out of it. And the whole Gong Fu process is just relaxing too. So it's when you're doing a lot of short steeps, even though it's tea and it's got caffeine, it's just a relaxing process. Yeah. All right.
So do you use the metal infusers usually, or I can't tell?
Well, right now, what I did with most of these, I have a little
it's got
side
a little
pour pot.
insert.
It's got a strainer
Oh.
inside. Personally, at home, I use a strainer like this.
Okay. And you mix it in there.
Right. And this just fits in your cup, you know, and then you just take it out and set it on a saucer. Or
I like these because then you don't have to throw out a bag every time.
Right.
And then I've recently become like terrified of microplastics, so like the plastic ones freak me out.
I have bags here that they tell me are certified, don't have any plastic in them. They just got a little bit of some kind of a plant-based glue that holds them together. But yeah, we've got a whole assortment of strainers, and these we just started carrying last year. And they're
these are
so cute.
These
so
are
many.
So cute.
Yeah.
Oh, they float. I get it.
Yes, they float. Yes, because this is food grade silicone.
That is too cute. Aw.
And so they work great in travel mugs because of the float and the seal and everything, you know. Yeah.
There's a cat.
Uh-huh.
What is this? Oh, another cat. Oh, there's an otter.
I think the otters are my best seller.
That is too cute. Butterfly, unicorn. These are really cute.
Oh, shoot, I forgot my strainer.
All right, I'm gonna set this down. So when you started traveling tea, did you think that it would last for this long?
I hoped it would. I actually had hoped that I would be able to quit my day job sooner than I did.
Yeah.
See, so that was just one steep.
Oh,
so that's hardly opened
cool.
up. I probably should have given it a rinse first. That would have helped it open up more. But I'll go do another steep. Here you go. Let's see.
Thank you.
Taste.
Oh, that's really good. It kind of tastes a little bit like seaweed.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of has
I
that
can see that.
seaweedy, nori-like flavor. Do you think you'll expand to where people can like sit down and have tea?
I don't know yet. The only way I might do that is if the donut shop next door would go out of business, because then I could knock a hole through, knock a door through and go down. So I don't know. And I purposely keep it small because it's manageable this way. If I had twice this space, I'd have to have twice the employees, and
have to wash all the cups and everything.
Exactly.
It's a lot of washing up.
It is. So, I don't know. But I did a tea tasting yesterday for a lady.
Mm-hmm.
She gathered some friends at her condo and took some teas and talked about tea, and we tried different things. And we do, like I've done date nights.
Mm-hmm.
where
That's
they
cute.
just come
Yeah.
and share a bunch of teas. I've done for a birthday, two friends. One friend gifted to the other to create her own tea.
Oh.
We kind of got some guidelines, and I had all of the ingredients, and we played around. And she made her own blend, and then she got 4 ounces of that blend, and then as long as I had the ingredients, I could remake the blend for her anytime. Yeah, it was fun. So they just paid a set fee, and then they got the free tea to go with it.
So this is round 2.
This is round 2.
This is the second round of the Gaba Oolong.
Yes. Yeah. See how much that leaf has opened up.
Oh, that's so cool.
You can pull out one of those leaves.
Oh yeah, so they unfurl.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And so you can just keep steeping and steeping and steeping until it's basically not water. So it is.
Oh yeah, it tastes like more tea, tea. You know what I mean?
And lots
That's
of times
interesting.
you'll get your best flavor on like your 3rd steep.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah. And so let's eat. And I guess you'll find out if it relaxes you. Oh. So I would ask you, your whole focus since you started in medical school has been the sleep, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, I did neurology first and then sleep. You can do sleep from a variety of different specialties, different medical specialties, including neurology. So I still do neurology when I'm on service in the hospital. But otherwise, all my outpatient practice is sleep.
And why did you choose sleep?
Because it's the most interesting. I mean, it's it's a relatively young field in medical research, and so I felt like there was a potential for being able to make a contribution, a scientific contribution, within my lifetime, as opposed to some of these fields where there's lots of big famous people working in them, for years and years. It just
for
seemed
little tiny breakthroughs.
or sometimes big. I just thought it would be fun to do something that where I could discover new things, and there was a good chance that I could. And also it's a good clinical practice. The actual sleep medical practice is pretty pleasant. It's easy to balance with research. So I thought it would be a good way to stay in academic medicine and be able to do research and still have a clinical practice and be able to balance that well.
And is there something really interesting that you've learned so far, or what's the most interesting thing you've learned?
What's the most interesting thing? Well, I guess I'm super biased by my own research. So I think it's interesting that that sleep or sleep disturbances seem to predict or maybe a risk factor for developing neurodegenerative diseases down the line, and perhaps our behaviors during midlife actually physically affect the mechanisms by which people may develop neurodegenerative diseases. So to me, that's interesting because it's actionable, right? So, I mean, there's so many things that, there's so many things to be afraid of, right? And we don't want bad things to happen to us, but there aren't that many things that we can do today to reduce those risks. but sleep is one of those things. So I think it's interesting in that it's something we do every day that we can do something about.
Oh, we didn't do the catnip one.
Oh,
did
we could do the catnip.
Yeah, let's do the catnip. So you can taste the catnip.
Yeah.
The catnip one, if you turn it back around and look at the ingredients, it's a little bit savory compared to most of my teas.
Why is it? It has catnip, spearmint, basil, violet, and dandelion leaf, and flower petals.
It doesn't actually have violet. I need to update that.
And a portion of every purchase donated to cat charities.
Yeah. Let's see what's it. 3 minutes. Okay. Yeah, when I very first created it, I had access to violet leaf, and I put violet leaf in, but I haven't had access to violet leaf since like just before COVID. They just don't. I don't know why they don't have it available anymore.
They've killed them all off.
I don't know. Whoever was in commercial production for violet leaf probably went out of business.
Huh. Yeah. But this has dandelion leaf.
Yes,
I do
it has
like dandelion leaf
instead
like in
of
salads and stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So my thinking was all plants that if a cat were outside, it could conceivably come in contact with.
Ah, okay.
And it's called My House Number 6 because when the Cat Cafe My House opened, the owners came in and we had all these different ingredients and we created this blend. And this was the 6th try.
Oh, My House Number 6.
Of the things that we tried.
Uh-huh.
And so they decided that's what they wanted to name it, was My House Number 6.
I went to the Cat Cafe for the first time with my kids fairly recently. They loved it. It was so fun. But they came up with a good name for a cat cafe, which is gato and gateau. You know, like gato means cat in Spanish, and gateau means cake in French.
Oh!
So that's their idea for a cat cafe name is gato and gateau.
You better trademark that.
Yeah. That's my get rich quick scheme, is to run a cat cafe.
Oh yeah, you'll get rich real quick, I'm sure. I told the owners, I said that by having a cat cafe, they cannot be called, she can't be called a crazy cat lady for having multiple cats.
Yeah. How long do these last?
Okay, herbal teas, you want to buy something that you're going to use up within 6 to 9 months. It's just like spices.
Okay.
You know, that same kind of guideline. Keep them in a sealed container away from heat and light. They'll stay fresh, you know.
Oh, I forgot to bring tins. Oh, I know I forgot something.
I can put it in paper bags for you and you can take it home.
All right. Okay. Oh, I feel so bad. Okay.
Yeah. No, we do that all the time. Yeah.
All right, so this is the Mao house. Here, I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna put this one here. So this is the catnip with mint, basil, dandelion, and flower petals. Well, this one's nice and minty. Do you have tea every day?
I have some kind of tea every day. I would not be my best customer, truthfully.
Yeah.
I don't drink like 4 cups of tea a day like some of my customers do. I like having the variety though.
Yeah.
Which was my big thing. You know, I don't like to drink the same tea every day. People that drink the same tea every day, I'm like, how can you do that? That just seems so boring. Of course, that's different than coffee, right? You drink the same kind of coffee every day. Some people
I guess.
have been drinking the same coffee for 40 years, you know?
This is nice. I do like the minty kinds.
Yep.
All right.
Well,
Well, I need to stock up on some teas.
Okay. We can do that.
Do that. All right. Well, thank you, Kateri.
Thank you for inviting me to be
Traveling
part of this.
So the website is travtea.com. TRAVTEA.com.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Yep.
This is so cute. I'm gonna show the logo. It's so cute. It's a little traveling tea kettle. Sharing good
With
times.
a little hobo bag to carry his tea
Oh
in.
yeah. Oh, it's a man. It's male. I always thought I was
It's kind of
it's
androgynous. I
yeah,
don't know.
it's non-binary.
I had no particular
Yeah.
conceptions in mind.
Did you draw him yourself?
I did not, but that is the image that was in my head. When I was trying to decide how to start a tea shop and where to start a tea shop, I thought, oh well, I could start at the farmer's market. And as soon as I had that thought, this image popped in my head with the name Traveling Tea. And so I talked to a friend of mine who's a graphic artist and told her what I wanted, and she did a few sketches, and I mean, that is exactly what was in my head. She did a fantastic job. Yeah.
Oh wow, you have a lot of different teas. Well, thank you so much. This was fun.
Cool.
Yay.
Okay, I hope it was helpful. I hope people find it to be helpful.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks so much. I hope this recorded.
I do too.